are you after junior year? Are you thinking about recruiting? What's the college process like at that point?
Yeah, so it was one of those things where it was like kind of in the back of my mind, but like I was looking at it more so like, okay, these are my friends. We like playing football, and my buddy Jeff, he and I did a couple camps and stuff, and we did the overnight BC football camp. That was like super fun, but that was also like you have some literal monsters at that camp,
Any
just
big
being like,
names? Any
holy
big
shit.
names over there that might have?
Um, BC had this one player called last name was Dudek. He was like a stud receiver for them. Um, I remember them being like, I don't remember dudes' names just because like you're there with your couple guys from your school, everybody's there with a couple guys from their school. But you remember guys getting like scholarship offers on the spot, like all these college coaches there.
As soon as they finish
And
the
I
40.
remember like, don't talk about my 40 score at that point.
Oh, what
I
was the
didn't have my
40?
wheels yet.
What was the 40, Rob?
I don't even remember.
You don't
I
remember?
think
Yeah,
going
you
in-
do.
I think going into like my junior year, it was like high fours, like it was terrible, like 4.9, 4.8.
Hey.
But for whatever reason, like I feel like going into my senior year, because I caught every single pitch for my baseball team junior year, so I feel like that was huge in terms of strengthening my legs and like I don't know if that really makes sense, but like I feel like I turned a corner in terms of my speed and stuff going into my senior year, and so senior year I feel like I was more of like a 4.6 guy, maybe 4.59 on a good day, but probably not. I mean, everybody thinks they're faster than they are. If I was 4.4 or 4.5, I wouldn't be playing D2. I'd be
Hey, man.
doing something different. So,
You go quick. You go fast.
Hey,
yeah.
wow.
So I feel like that whole year of catching every single pitch just really helped strengthen my legs, and I like if you guys saw my film and stuff. I feel like the running game for me just turned a corner, and it gave me a different element.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Let me get into some X's and O's with you.
Yeah.
I just got some questions. Like, all right, do you prefer the midline read, like reading the tackle, or reading the defensive end?
I mean, this is going to be the most quarterback answer, but I feel like it depends on what the team's doing. You know what I mean? If the look's there, you got to take the look.
Yeah, dog.
They did give me the choice in some situations to be like, all right, just see what they're doing and then make the call there. So like if we're reading the A gap defender, we call it apple. Apple. You're on the line, make the adjustment. Reading the B gap player if it's a linebacker. Boca.
Whoa! So y'all would do this
so
on the spot. Y'all would just pick a player.
Yeah. So I just kind of had to see what matchup we got. How they're lining up defensively. And so he might call, like a zone read, and we're running just, let's say, power or whatever, or zone. And you kind of just, it didn't happen often, but in certain looks where I was like, all right, this is stupid. Why are we running this into this look? You can make the adjustment.
Man,
and, I loved on the goal line reading the A-gap guy because it was such a quick read. And if he goes, you just take off and fill that spot and you get your 2 yards, 3 yards, like nothing.
I see why it's so hard to coach a defense now. Because it's like whatever you call, they just go
wrong.
Yeah, you're going to be wrong.
We're going to make you wrong every time.
You just need an athlete. You just got to have athletes at that point. That's so crazy, man. That's so crazy. What was your favorite play? What was your GOAT? Like, if they was like, hey, Dombro, call whatever you want, but we need either first or we need a touchdown. What do you call it?
I would say in short yardage situations, let me run the rock. I wouldn't want to like screw around. If we need like 4 yards, it's 4th and 4. Just let me run it. We did a little bit of zone read. We did some quarterback counter. Some quarterback draw and stuff. So whatever the situation was, like we did a ton of, like you guys saw on the film, we did a ton of just short yardage runs. And sometimes I broke them off, but my favorite play would probably be, like a deep post, I feel like we hit that pretty good that year. There's one play where one of my guys got absolutely lit up. I don't know if you remember that play, but he was going across the middle, caught the ball, and then like it was such a late hit. Like he was literally in the end zone for a touchdown.
I did.
And this dude just laid him out. And like I think he might have ended up finishing the game actually, but that deep post, like especially in that right look, that was fun to throw. And then if you didn't have that, then you had the dig backside coming underneath the safety.
Oh yeah,
Either way, like
you gotta
it
make a
was,
decision.
So
yeah, you
even
kind of put him in a
though
vice.
so even though you like to run the ball, you still wanted to sling it.
Oh yeah,
You just
yeah.
wanted.
I wasn't a running quarterback until my senior year. Before that, I just wanted to throw. But like once I got like a taste of like, okay, like I can actually, move and do this
people
stuff.
over, man. That was no joke. I was watching
not
the
a lot,
highlight tape.
but
I was watching the highlight tape. I was like, bro, he was like, this man was falling forward. This is no joke. This is no joke right now.
He dropped the shoulder.
Look,
Drop the shoulder.
We gonna talk about it later.
Yeah, you know all about that, T.
So let's talk about the Tom Brady game. Let's talk about the major comeback. Break that down. Who was y'all playing?
We were playing Cape Cod Tech, and they had this player named Malik Lee, who was insane. He was this running back. He played defense for him. He literally was like a one-man wrecking ball. And he ended up going on to play at UMass. I think he ended up becoming a fullback. But he was just an unbelievable player. And we played them our junior year as a JV team as well. And so like a lot of the same guys that we played the next year, we played the year before. So like we kind of knew what they were all about. And we actually played them twice my junior year. First time, no, that was actually Harwich, different team. But we knew going into the game it was going to be like them just feeding him the ball. And we just got to score more points because he was a given for like 3 touchdowns a game. And we get into the fourth quarter, and I don't remember the exact score, but we're basically down. I think it might have been down by like 4 or something. But either way, we're driving with the ball, throw a touchdown pass. There's literally 1 second left on the clock when my guy crosses over the plane. And I don't think we had any timeouts or anything like that. But I remember just like after that happened, just being like, damn. And like, it's on the tape too. I literally like sit in like a squat and just like, kind of just like, bow my head. I'm just like, just feeling it and soaking it in. And the crazy thing too, is my grandparents actually were at that game. That was homecoming weekend.
Oh man.
And they lived,
awesome.
I think at the time, they're in Florida. So they were actually up visiting, and to get my grandparents out of Florida, where it's nice to go up to a game in like, the end of October, early November, that alone was kind of crazy. So shout out to them for making the trip. But they were at that game, and I remember just being like, damn, like, it's just everything I'd kind of gone through at that point to get to that, and even though like, I know it's Cape Tech, it's nothing major in terms of, the level of, play, like we're Pope John Paul II in, Division 5 or whatever it is. But like, just being like, that's pretty cool to be able to, throw a game-winning touchdown pass with 1 second left on the clock.
Yeah, I cry. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, that was emotional.
That's something you keep forever.
Yeah.
Your senior year, what was y'all record?
8-3.
So
we missed out on playoffs.
Oh man,
y'all won though.
Yeah.
Y'all was
Yeah.
winning.
So my high school
was winning.
My high school record as a starter was 16-4.
Okay,
Granted,
so
JV and varsity schedule.
Okay, somebody got to hear
was
this
a
at
winner.
Pope. What's the name of the school now? Because it's not Pope John Paul. It's
Well, now it's St. John Paul II.
St. John Paul II.
He got
Somebody got to
canonized or
hear
whatever.
this. Somebody got to hear this. This man is clearly St. John Paul II Athletic Hall of Fame. Do not play with this man's name. You put this man in on the first varsity team, 8-3 on the first varsity team. Come on, bro. Offensive Player of the Year in conference. We've been out of high school for what? It's 10 years now officially?
10 years.
11?
Yeah, 10 years.
11 years. It's been 11
This
years.
man should be inducted into the school's athletic hall of fame. If y'all ain't got one, you need to make one. Come on now. Don't put some respect on this man's name. Put respect on this man's name. This is dead serious.
The man was bleeding blue and yellow. The man was bleeding blue and gold. Blue and gold was coming out his veins.
Respect on this man's name, dog. That whole team, low key, you the first varsity team in the school and with a winning record. The whole team should be like legendary. Y'all, that's some legendary stuff right there, man.
They need to have a picture of y'all. There's a picture of y'all in the in the auditorium.
You
Like
gotta
when
be
you walk
somewhere
through
in
the
the school.
school.
Your name should be
Not-
somewhere in the school though.
I do have my name on a plaque. That's
Okay.
it.
All right.
They got this thing
Hey.
called Mr. and Mrs. Lion, who like whatever your class is, like whoever the athlete of the class is, I will give them that. I have my name on one of those, so
All right,
All
that's
right, that's
cool,
good.
man.
That's all. That's all I need
that's
to
good
hear.
enough for me, man. I don't need anything crazy.
Nah, give
Hey,
you a Hall of Fame and a check.
so after senior year, man, what's your thoughts after you played your last game? Um, yeah, what are you thinking for school? Like, what was going through your mind?
So I was very. I wouldn't even say like I was recruited in a sense of like people coming and trying to like contact me. It was more so me trying to be like shit. Like if I want to play, like I need to find a spot.
Okay, so you
And
got active.
I like had coaches and stuff that would like more so like D3 schools, which I thinking back, like yeah, it might have been funner to go D3 because I could have played more, like, had different opportunities. But like at the same point, it's like I would never be in the position I am in now if I didn't do everything I did. I wouldn't have met you guys. I wouldn't be doing what I do with my life. Like all that experience, like even though at the time, like going through it, you're just like, this shit's tough, man. Like I don't know if I'm doing what I need to be doing. I don't know if I'm in the right position. Looking back on it now, even though like the results at the time weren't what I wanted, like it just made everything come together.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really heavily recruited at all. So my coach actually for a couple seasons coached up with St. A's for like I think it might have been like one spring or something. So he had like a connection. He actually knew Coach Murph
Really?
and
Wow.
Coach Eggerling. And Coach
Shout out
Eggerling,
to
I remember,
A's.
reached out and was
How you
he
doing,
was really
Robbie?
the one I
How you
talked
doing,
to.
Robbie? I
Hey,
think
we
like
gotta
to a
get him
T.
on.
I think we got a good
You
spot
know?
for you,
We gotta
Robbie.
get him on the show.
Yeah.
I
Get
think
him on
you'd
the
be great
show.
for us. Yeah.
The man lives and breathes football,
Oh my
and
god.
And the weight room.
like as a coach, like you gotta just have so much respect for him. So
I love that guy.
he ends up reaching out, and I was applying to a bunch of schools. In my head, I'm like, okay, if schools that I'm going just to school for, and then schools that maybe I have a chance to play football, right? And some of those were D3 schools, some were D2 schools. Like basically, I was just like, I just need a chance. And that was really the only thing on the table that kind of came at the end. And I was like, and it was I got offered a preferred walk-on spot, so I knew I had a roster spot. And I was like, I just need an opportunity. And I didn't even really know what to expect. Going into it, you get that shell shock of freshman going into a football camp. You're just like, holy shit, man.
Terrifying.
All right, now it's time. We're going to get into college
Oh,
because let me tell you what's so crazy about this. So, of course, like I said, I interviewed Joel,
Yeah.
and what I forget is that our freshman class alone was like 4 or 5 quarterbacks, and it was like,
5.
yeah, it was like, what are we doing recruiting like 5
5 of
quarterbacks
y'all.
in the same class? And then on top of that, we had Ray and Coop fighting for the starting spot. So
Yeah.
what is the quarterback room like that freshman year at training camp?
Looking back on it now, it's so fucking funny, dude. Like, you literally have 7 quarterbacks on the team, and 5 of them are fucking freshmen who have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like, and granted, I'll give Joel the benefit of the doubt. Like, I think Coach Murph might have sent him the playbook ahead of time and shit, so he kind of knew what was what.
Nope.
Because you guys remember, they broke it up into like the good group
Yep.
and like the not so good group, right?
Yeah.
So in the good group, you got all your starters, and you got Ray, Coop, and then Joel, right?
Yeah.
In the not so good group, you have me, Brett Kiddick. Shout out Brett Kiddick. We'll get into that later. All right. You got Cam McLevich, fucking legend, and you got Andrew Murphy, right?
Yeah.
So you got the 4 of us who are just like, what are we doing? What comes next? We're trying to learn a playbook of like all these things, and it's all hand signals. It's all like verbal communication at the line. Like, dude, I was so in over my head. My senior year, I had a wristband on my wrist. They'd yell out a number. I'd look at the play and be like, all right, bet this is what we're running. And everybody, I had a wristband that told them exactly what the play was. So to be able to now like think of what's going on, hang on one sec, guys. Just making sure we're good here.
That's so crazy.
But just to be able to process that and relay it, it was just like, holy shit. And I remember like literally in practices, them expecting just like perfection, which as a coach, why would you not,
Yeah.
So they literally just keep rotating us in and out because somebody would go in, they'd run the play, make the wrong call, get the fuck out. Next guy in, relay the play, same thing, get the fuck out. And it's literally just this revolving door of us fucking up. And I remember it just sucked because like, you're like, shit, I'm trying to like make a good impression and your head's just spinning. And I'm not even getting into the physical part of it where everybody's faster, stronger. You're trying to read defenses that you haven't read before. And you're just trying to be like, okay, is it a pass play? Is it a run play? Like, what the fuck is going on here? So that was the hardest thing. But I remember, I was like, the only way I can kind of get to where I need to be is to just tackle the mental side. Cause like, I know physically, like I am what I am, you know what I mean? I'm not changing that. It is what it is. But like, if I can get the one up on the playbook and know what guys are doing, know what I'm doing, most importantly, what I'm doing, I can kind of, get in there. And I feel like I got to the point where I got more comfortable with the playbook. But I remember, shout out Brett Kiddick again. I remember one practice, him refusing to go in. And you got Andrew Murphy, Cam McLevidge, and myself just getting lit up because, we're making the wrong decision, we're fucking up, whatever it is. But he just like, one practice was like, I'm going to go in just the bare minimum. And I remember being like, dude, are you going to go in? Like, we're just getting our ass reamed over here. And you're just like chilling, not doing, not going in to get yelled at because you didn't know what was going on either. And I remember to this day, he goes, dude, suck my fucking dick. And I was just like, and I was just like, shit, man.
He's like,
I was like, what do I even say to that? Like here I am trying to be like, past the getting shitted on, and I just get shitted on again.
He was like, you deal with it one way, I deal with it another way. Okay, I should know what I got to do.
Oh man!
And looking back on it, like that's Brett Kiddick to a T. Like if he was Kiddick, like, man, I don't appreciate what you're saying. Suck my fucking dick.
That's some real trauma. The man was like, I ain't fucking going and I ain't budging.
Yeah. Dude, it was terrifying though. Like, and you guys know Coach Murph, like, calling dudes like fuck sticks and Kevin Roach. He called the man a paper mache cutout.
Hey, Roach, not Roach, man. Shout out Roach.
So
we was living on the same floor. We were living on in that basement freshman year, man. First of all, I must thank you for allowing me to just spend all my time in that room. I just want to say that. Even
you don't got to say nothing. I knew the situation.
Nah, even before. No. But I'm talking about even training camp. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
We played a lot of Xbox.
A lot.
We played a lot of Xbox. We
just kidding. You can never play too much.
Yeah. I gotta ask you. I feel like a lot of people will relate to this. What was your favorite team in NCAA football?
Oh my god!
I'm a true spread guy at heart. I gotta go with Oregon.
Yeah, I used to pick them all the time.
I remember those days
at Autzen Stadium. You get all the jerseys, man.
Gotta look good, options.
Look good, feel good, play good.
I couldn't stand playing Dombrowski in NCAA because if you went one high safety, he was just going to backside curl you all day. It was just a backside curl. And I was just like, no matter what I did, I couldn't stop that daggone backside curl. Nope.
That's not true.
He never read the ball.
He ran read.
He ran read. He'd only use zone read, but he'd fucking light you up. He only passed that. Yeah. Unlike Tyler, who'd only run.
Yeah, Tyler would
had fucking
power eye.
I had to fill out every
and then
trick
eventually
in the
hit you with a play action.
I never beat y'all in any game. I had to always pull out all the tricks. I never knew how to beat you. Yeah,
you couldn't beat us in football, but you beat us in
basketball. That's what I'm talking about. NCAA, I couldn't beat you. I had to pull out all the
tricks. I was trash at 2K.
All the tricks. I would know. I was the best player.
Me and Don, bro, stop that mess. Me and Don, bro, in NCAA was them games was intense. I don't know what it was, but it was like, hey, I can't lose to this man. can't lose this, man, because if I lose,
because if you lost, you never heard the end of it.
You never.
You just be talking so much shit, and then like because you'd be talking shit or I'd be talking shit, like let's fucking go again, let's go again, and then just be this never-ending cycle of just like
we played
going
for
neck
4 hours one day because Tyler lost once.
Oh man,
y'all played a game that went to like 4 overtimes.
Those were the days, man.
I used to be sitting there watching y'all play like, damn.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
That's how we end debates.
Play a game, yeah. Man.
You feel so strongly, play me an NCAA for it.
Pass the sticks.
Hey, man. Honestly, man, me and Dom, so Dombro, freshman year at Dombro, I remember you was on scout team. I don't know, bro. When it came to me and you, right? You was my dog off the field.
Yeah.
My dog off the field. But boy, when it came to between the lines, it was just like
cutthroat.
It was cutthroat out there. Like I remember times I'd be like, nothing made me happier picking Dombrowski off the scout team. It was like it's scout team. It's not even
never
like
happened. Never happened.
I take Dombro's word for it.
The ball literally. You rolled up on the ball.
No.
In that one spring ball practice.
Hey, spring ball, circa 2013. That was a pick. Murph called it a pick. Now, I was a safety.
But he only called
ball
it a
don't
pick.
lie.
He only called it a pick because he wanted to freaking fuck with Dombro.
I literally
I fully believe too.
I definitely.
He was like, that wasn't a pick. If that was in game, it wouldn't have been a pick. I was there.
That was insane too. Like we were driving.
I will say this right now. I will say
cold.
this right now. I did not catch that football.
Well, you know what? You know why you had to say it though? Because whoever lost the day had to run. So it was no holds barred. Whoever lost the day had to run. And at that moment, it was fuck you, dog, bro.
I dropped the ball, but I rolled over it, and then you look, and the ball's, and the Murph was like, interception. I was like, yes.
You're not telling me nothing I didn't already know. It's just I just finally got you to admit it, and we have this recorded, so the world will know that you've been spewing bullshit for the last however many years.
Hey, Dom, bro, I edited the video. I can't tell you about the audio, but I'm gonna leave it in.
My man.
I gotta ask because, and this is for anybody listening who's gonna play sports. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody has their journey, but like as somebody who was preferred walk on, there's a lot of people in front of you. What was your motivation to keep going and just keep playing the sport?
I'll be the first to admit there were definitely days where there was so much self-doubt of like, what am I doing? And what's the point, And, because I didn't get a single dollar to play football. And, I mean, you guys were with me almost, all the time. And we haven't even got into it yet, but I changed my position sophomore year. I got hurt for almost all sophomore year. Junior year, senior year, it was like I was just playing catch up the whole time. And, I was just not, I was just once again in my own head of like, what's the point of playing? I'm never going to see the field, this and that. But it was you guys. Like you guys literally, it was the brotherhood that made me be able to get through those 6 a.m. workouts, the bullshit winter conditioning.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Full Dombrowski, when I say full metal jacket Monday, what goes through your mind?
I just think a dude's puking.
Yeah.
Like puking because you're exhausted, because you can't go, you're just pushing your body so far. And I mean, yeah, you can say those help build the team and, the rah-rah and this and that, but like that shit sucked, man.
Yeah, it sucked.
Like if you find me one person who said they enjoyed that, let me know, because you won't find it.
Not one.
But
Not one person.
I get why, but really the reason was, you guys, and if, I wasn't part of the team, I wouldn't have had that, you know what I mean? Because you have guys that, how many people did we go in freshman year with in that class? Was it like
Ooh.
40 something?
Honestly, I think
Oh, a
we was
lot
in
of
the
people.
hundreds. I think we had like 100. I think we had like 100
No,
freshmen.
just in our freshman class.
That's what I'm saying.
Just in our incoming class.
It felt like 50. I think we was close to 50 freshmen. Like we could have had our own
All right, so
football team.
let's just say it's 48 people, right?
Yeah.
So out of those 48, how many stuck around all 4 years and stayed on the team?
Not even half. Probably had to be
Hey.
like 25%.
A bunch of people already left before
Nah, I
I
can't
even
say
got on the team. I came
Yeah.
after
I'm saying?
camp. People left
Yeah.
right
So-
after camp.
And those were dudes that were getting paid a shit ton of money to play football there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like, the way I look at it, it's like, yeah, it was challenging, but like I'm in sales now. Like I'm in management and sales, and the stuff I deal with daily is nothing compared to what I dealt with playing football. And
That's a
going through the mental preparation, the
that
physical
is a fact.
preparation, everything else after that is easy. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to our coaches. They, it's more than just football. They're just getting you prepared for whatever you face. And do I wish things worked out differently? Absolutely. But I wouldn't change a thing. In the moment, yeah, you think about transferring, you think about quitting, you think about doing whatever, but like that's the shit that makes you who you are. And everything happens for a reason. I know it's cliche, but everything that was supposed to happen happens, and that's just kind of my perspective. But being a walk on, you're really just playing for yourself and your brothers,
Man,
and
that's beautiful.
Jay, you lived it too, man. You know what I mean? You're going out there getting your ass kicked, getting yelled at, and you're doing it for free.
Hey, the only way I made it through getting yelled at was I always thought they was yelling at someone else.
Just play it off.
I was like, oh, they yelling at somebody. I wonder if it's me. I don't know.
They probably thought you had a hearing disability.
Yeah, I used
That's
to just,
Man, I'm yelling at this guy
"Hey,
Jay,
yelling
and he's
at
just
me.
brushing it right off.
That's
Hey,
hilarious.
He ain't yelling at me.
So yeah, you talked about it earlier, but after freshman year, you made the switch to receiver. Why make the switch? What happened?
So I remember we made it through probably like half a camp, maybe even a little bit more. But it's kind of getting to the point where they start like prepping for the season and thinking of like, okay, this is how we're gonna utilize guys more so than just like the regular like weeks starting out leading up to the season. But I remember like because freshman year, you guys probably know that Ray got hurt. Coop, I think, pretty much like quit the team.
No,
and so like
Coop got hurt. Coop hurt his shoulder.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Ray finished the season. Bless his soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did he quit though in spring ball?
That too. Yeah, he didn't come back.
Right before
I don't know. There was some weird situation, but
it was crazy.
I remember Andrew Murphy ended up playing pretty much the rest of the season and finishing out the season.
Yeah.
And you had I think Joel got hurt too, right? Didn't Joel get hurt?
Joel got hurt. Yeah, in training camp. Freshman year.
Yeah, he broke his wrist or something. Yeah. So I just remember being like going into that camp of like just mentally being like, all right, like because Andrew had a killer freshman season, like he won the rookie of the year.
Man. Yeah,
he had all these accolades, and I'm just like mentally like, all right, like going into it, yeah, he's the number one guy. I'm going to be fighting for second, third string, whatever it is, and just like mentally being like, and I'll be the first to admit, I was like checked out. Like going into that camp, I was like, I'm there, but I'm not really there. Like, Deion Sanders says, like, be where your feet are.
Man, yeah.
I like mentally wasn't there.
It's hard.
Like physically I was there, but like mentally I was just like going through the motions. And I feel like the coaches kind of picked up on that because like I had a couple good practices and then like I would just like shit the bed. Right. And Coach Murph came up to me and was basically like, we're moving some guys around, and Joel and I got moved the same day. I remember Joel talking to Coach Murph, and then I talked to Coach Murph in the calf. So like the whole team's there eating their lunch or whatever. I think we had a double session. So the morning practice, I played quarterback at that practice. We had lunch. You take your nap, whatever. You gear up for the second practice. I remember him being like, "Hey, like Joel, stick around. Dombro, stick around. We got to talk about some stuff." And that's where he's like, I think we want to move you. I think you have a chance to see the field more at another position. do you want to go defense or offense? And me being like, fuck defense. Like, I can't do that shit. I was like, let's go. I want to be a receiver.
Darbo, we would have
And
been like, we was already boys. We would have been best friends, bro. You would have been corner. You would have been right there next to me, bro. I'd have showed you the way.
The defensive side had a different.
I couldn't tackle for shit.
You would have learned.
I would just funnel everybody in, so that way somebody else would have to tackle them.
You'd have no choice, man. Once you get that first taste. But yeah.
I don't know.
Awesome.
I don't think it's in me.
It's addictive.
But I remember that they were like, okay, we're going to move you. And in my head, I was like, all right, I think this is going to be good. Like, I was kind of warming up to it because in my head, I'm like, I'm never going to see the field, this and that. And like, who knows? I probably would have been like the third guy or whatever. And I mean, granted, looking back at it now, backup quarterback, that's pretty chill. Yeah. You don't get tackled in practice. You get to throw the ball around.
It ain't chill for St. A quarterbacks.
Hey.
Y'all gonna be in
you
second half of the
But
season.
here's the thing.
You definitely.
Here's the thing, though. Mentally, like knowing the playbook, I had that shit down. Like in the meetings and stuff. Like if he tried to if you guys know, anybody watching this knows Coach Murph, he would try to mentally fuck with you. It was mental warfare 24/7. And I feel like I held my own in those meetings where it's like you go in there and you sit on a nice leather couch. He's in there and he'd just be like looking at you,
bruh.
And he just like ask you something, and like if you didn't have the answer on the spot, he'd just go to the next guy. And until somebody got it right, he'd just be like hammering you guys. And it's like I feel like I knew, like in the classroom, in the meeting room, I feel like I knew what was going on, what needed to happen. But out on the field, it's like my mind could process it, but I just couldn't apply it sometimes, And I feel like that was my like biggest, if I'm looking at a self-scouting, that was my biggest thing. Like sometimes my mind would know what I needed to do, but I couldn't just do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel you.
But yeah, so that first practice that afternoon, I like screwed up my knee, and like I knew something was wrong, but I finished out the practice, right? And I couldn't bend my knee after that practice. So I was like icing it. I'm taking like a ton of ibuprofen. Like I'm just like, I know something's wrong. And literally my first practice as a receiver, I tore my meniscus.
I remember that because for another, first of all, Jay, you was not there.
I was too there. I was there.
At training camp?
I was at training camp, but I was there when he had the torn meniscus because I had to help him so much.
All right, first off, I remember.
I was helping you out.
During training camp, I remember the trainers was really trying to tell you wasn't hurt, and I was sitting there like the dude barely can bend his knee at the moment.
Yeah.
So you have the doctor and the trainer looking stupid because the doctor's like, the man tore his meniscus. Like,
I had to go for MRI. And here's the thing: in training camp, they I think they take away dudes' keys and stuff.
Ma, that was apple juice. That was apple juice, ma. Go ahead.
I remember they took dudes' keys and stuff. So I remember having to borrow somebody's car to go drive myself. Well, I think the day I got my MRI was the team outing. Like you guys went to the lake or some shit.
Yeah. Oh, that was terrible.
And I literally remember driving myself to the fucking MRI when you guys were all at the fucking lake having, the barbecue or whatever it was.
You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss a damn thing.
Yeah, but at the time I'm like, fuck, man, everybody's there, and here I am driving to. But yeah, so that they confirmed torn meniscus. I had surgery. I think I ended up coming back for the last couple weeks of the season in terms of practicing, and then I dressed for the last game of the season. I think it was against Stonehill, maybe.
Last
you
game
probably know better
season,
than I.
Last game of the season was
sophomore year.
Bentley.
No, it was Bentley.
I remember because
so I remember dressing for the Bentley game. My knee still wasn't 100%, and for whatever reason, my rehab it just never felt right. To this day, when I move my knee, it clicks and shit. You know what I mean? So eventually I might need to go get that taken care of, but I'm trying to put that off for as long as I can.
I have some stories I'd like to tell. Conditioning tests our sophomore year.
I thought we were going to just skip right past that.
No, I'm not going to discuss whether you passed or not. That's not my issue. Okay, there's 2 times that Dombrowski did this to me. I just want to throw this out there. Okay, mind you, I didn't think I was that type of person. I didn't feel like I was a hardo. I didn't feel like I was like a hardo at camp, right? before the conditioning test starts.
Cover your face.
Dombro,
Tyler, you most definitely are.
hold on. Before the
Yes.
conditioning test starts, right? Dombrowski comes up to me and was like, he was like, don't be a fucking show off. He said something
No,
like,
it was don't be a fucking hero.
Yeah, that's what it was.
he said, don't be a fucking hero. I was like, dog.
Dombo
like,
was
okay.
ruthless during conditioning.
I said,
during
cool.
times.
No, but here's the thing. Every time he told me don't be a fucking hero, as soon as the whistle blow, he come out sprinting. He come out full speed. First one out the gate. I be like, dang. What the?
Dobro one time broke my spirit. I was like,
Hold up, Jay. We'll get into that. Tyler, keep going on this. I'll make sure we get back to that.
The funny. So I was like, all right, bet. I better look. So our conditioning test was what was it like? It was like 10, 50-yard sprints or something like that, and then end with a 300-yard shuttle. Something crazy like that.
But the shuttle was what, 25-yard intervals?
25-yard intervals 6 times.
Yeah, so that was a bitch.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. The funny thing was, so Dara was finishing the sprints. He was first on the sprints. I did. Boone was like, Coach Boone was like, hey, Tyler, you need to speed it up. So I was like, okay, whatever. We get to the 300-yard shot.
I'm fucking cooked.
We get to the 300-yard shot. He dead. And I cruised through that joint. I look back, Dombrowski dive into the finish line, and it was like, nah, bro, you feel, buddy? You got to come back tomorrow. And I'm like,
Yo,
it was literally like by 1 second too.
In that moment like that, you just gotta give it to the kid.
I was saying,
for it, you gotta give it to the man,
bro. But senior year, he tells me the same thing. He's like, don't be a fucking hero. And I was like, oh, okay. And the whistle blows, and Dombrowski just, boom, he just full out sprint.
That time I did pass though.
You did pass. We had to do it what? How many times in a row? Like 3?
Hey.
We had to do the 300-yard shuttle like 3 times in a row.
I thought I was gonna die. I'll never forget it. That was bullshit. It was bullshit. I trained for a completely different conditioning test. I was prepared for a different conditioning test. I only passed that first shuttle, and I was done the rest. I still have a gripe for that shit. We been to one. I was like, "Oh, thank God."
Did you ever end up passing?
Yeah. No, I never passed.
No,
they
not to say yeah. No.
They never made me take it twice. I never took it twice.
So, Junior year though, you and I had to do the redo.
Yeah.
And we had to wake up the next morning at like 6 a.m. or 5:30 a.m.
Yeah, I failed that too. Junior year I did.
I passed at that time because I was like, I was hurting because I'm like, fuck, man, like this looks so bad.
Yeah.
Like this dude can't even pass a conditioning test. Like in the sense of like me being like a skill guy, you know what I mean? Like if you're a skill guy that can't pass the conditioning test, like what are you doing?
That joint was hard though. It took you
right
had
off
to
the
practice
bat,
that
camp was tough.
That was hard. Yeah.
Junior year was a tough camp.
Hardest camp.
Junior year was a very tough camp. We was just battling. That was like that year was like offense versus defense, just going at it every single day. I think that's really what made us the team we were. But we was really battling that year. Everything was a competition from off season all the way through training camp. We just competed.
Oh yeah,
like it was crazy.
It was tough. I just remember fighting so much.
There's a lot of fights.
I fought every day. I fought every single day. And I didn't even play. I fought every day and I didn't even play.
You know, hey, look, I'm gonna admit this. Now, look, Lombard was on this podcast, and I admit Lombard ran me over. I have to admit again. Spring ball. Dombrowski ran me over. Dombrowski.
Damn straight.
Hey, look,
fucking straight.
With a smile on his face. I saw it. I ain't never witnessed nothing like that before in my life. I was like, oh, Dom, bro, I'm finna go full speed on him. I don't know what happened.
So bad.
I really don't know what happened.
Got that opportunity. I'm so mad I never got that opportunity.
I saw it and I took it.
That was so crazy, bro. It was so
you
crazy.
Remember, too, I absolutely cooked you on that corner route.
What? Whoa.
I remember that shit. I remember you look at me and saying, "Damn, Tom, bro, that was a nice move, man."
I don't know
I remember
what
that
you're
shit.
talking about, fam.
Hey,
Now that one,
you, you know
that
why I
one, I
believe
have
it?
no idea what you're talking about.
You know why I believe it?
You looking at me straight like you. I have no idea on a corner.
He's confident
You
about it.
must
He's
be
not
me
laughing or
mistaken.
nothing.
You got me mistaken with Bailey. You got me mistaken
He's
with
proud of him.
44
Yo, hey, look at his face.
Tyler, I fucking lived with you.
on
How do I
a
not know who I cooked?
on a corner. Oh,
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I
When?
believe
When
it.
was this?
Look at
Don't
his
let me.
face.
Don't even let me get into one-on-ones.
First of all, you didn't see me in what it was. I know that for a fact.
Oh,
What are you talking about, bro?
You did not see me in what it
Dombro's
was.
like, wait.
Yo,
Wait.
Jace,
Tyler,
he's smoking some of what you have.
No,
Tyler,
because I was
I know
always
for a
first.
Fact. I know for a fact you went against Dombro before.
Okay,
one-on-one.
if
Them
anything,
arguments in the
hold
damn
on,
room
fam.
after practice was the worst I could ever experience.
No, if anything, he got me on a little 3-step. But no, ain't no way. Come on now, bro. Come on.
Hey,
We
got
we
you.
not
He
we
had to
can't
got
do
you.
this.
The man had to got you. Hey, one thing from one guy who barely played to another guy who barely played. We remember our wins. We remember our
straight.
wins.
That's our
fair.
victory
we get
right
a
there.
That's
win.
you know what.
We remember
Hey,
it.
you know what? This
I remember
show,
that more than my one catch for 6 yards in my entire career. I remember that. That to me
I'm gonna let you
is all that
have it
matters.
because this is technically athletic. And I'm big up in my peoples. I'm gonna let
One
you
catch,
have this
6
one, bro.
yards isn't as important as beating your ass in practice.
Yeah.
First of all, what you had 1 catch 6 yards versus New Haven too. Like it's not like it was a little scrub squad. You know what I'm saying? Look, man. Look, I will say this, and I appreciate the fact that practices when Dombrowski was on the field, I was like, all right, let me tighten my shoulder pads real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because I just know if I have to encounter this man, I don't know what anger.
I'm
You know
coming
what?
at you.
Here's the thing: because we lived with each other, I was slightly an asshole as a roommate. Slightly. There was things I would do that was just like this was kind of assholish. You know what I'm saying?
Jay, do you remember the trash bag full of like snot rags you used to have?
Yes.
That was fucking gross,
Well,
bro.
it's not
What
as
the fuck
gross.
is wrong with you?
It's not as
I
gross
was
as
a
your water
snotty
bottle
nose
full of
nigga.
phlegm. It's not as gross as yours water bottles full of phlegm. You just used to leave everywhere. Both motherfuckers.
That's not true.
Yes, no.
First of all,
don't lie.
first of all,
In order,
no.
wait. If
We
I
gonna
came in the
stop
room
this.
and I was loud, all you had to do was take it out and shake it, and I just walk away.
We gonna stop this because Jay used to do shit like get sick and pop vitamins. Like he was popping like fish oil. Like that shit was gonna make him better.
And
And
I remember him being like, us being like, why the fuck are you taking that? He's like, it's good for my heart. It's like, bro, you have a cold. You got a runny nose. Like, what the fuck?
Y'all, for those who don't know, right? So freshman year, Jalen and Rob was roommates, and then I would pretty much just always come to their room. So we was like, yo, we might as well get a triple. And we got the room we didn't want. So we lived in this dorm.
We were in a forced triple, basically.
We was in a forced triple because
that we chose.
The room across the hall from us was like, that was the one we was trying to get because that room was like amazing.
It was huge.
But we did get it, and we ended up getting the forced triple. And this shit was so small. Like I felt like if it wasn't for football practice, we would have been fighting. We would have been fighting
Oh my
crazy.
It wasn't
That's way too much testosterone in that room.
The second semester is when we figured it out and expanded the room a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
My goodness,
we
shit
got
was
way
tough,
less
man.
fights. I
That
remember
shit
the
was
fight.
tough. I remember.
Let's talk about how Dombro tried to kill Tyler. No, how Tyler tried to kill Dombro.
I slightly
you remember you tried
because
to kill him?
I'm gonna tell you what happened. The Red Sox. Listen,
I had to catch him. He could
the
have died.
the Red Sox was in the World Series. I had the remote. Now here's the thing.
Like an asshole.
Let me explain. Let me explain.
If the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, you would have never imagined. Just imagine.
Let me explain. I was
if
never gonna
police would have been called.
I was never gonna let y'all miss a moment of the game. But I grew up, if it's a commercial, find some other shit to watch. So I would flip between during commercials, I'd flip, and they was like, "What are you
Why the
doing?" But I'm like, "It's
yo?
a commercial. I'm gonna get back
Why
to
the
the
why the
game."
fuck didn't you do that the
It
whole
was.
game then?
It
I
was.
did.
Yeah.
No,
No,
you didn't.
you did during the most crucial part of the game, Tyler. You only did it one time, and I
Thank
don't
you,
even
Jay.
like baseball. I
So
don't
Thank you.
even
look,
like baseball, and
so
I was paying attention. And
so
I was
I
like, "What the
flip.
fuck you doing?"
I
Damn
flip, and
straight.
Dombro's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He comes up, and I'm on the top bunk. He was trying to grab the remote. Like, hey, bro, look, cause it's ironic because Dombro is the oldest brother. I'm the youngest brother, so it was it was kind of like, yo, now niggas been trying to take remote from me all my life.
You had the
You
fucking high
gotta
ground,
cool
bro.
out.
Right? He had the high ground.
I was Obi-Wan Kenobi in this show. You
Oh
know what
my
I'm saying?
God.
But no, I
You're hitting me
apologize
with
for
the
that.
fucking stiff arm.
I truly apologize for that. I've been thinking about that every now and then. Like, that was dumb.
Remember we
That
used to
was
play
just
body
truly stupid.
shots? We used to play body shots. Like, you just do
Jay, you
stupid
remember
shit.
when you accused me of not liking basketball and I swung at you?
Yes, you slapped the glasses off my face.
We was fighting for no
Shout,
reason.
shout out to Chelsea. She talks about this probably once a month. She's like, "You don't even like basketball," and just looks at me,
I was like, you don't
and I'm
even
just
like
like,
basketball. You slapped the fuck out of me. I was
Yo,
like, first of all, I slapped you back. I slapped you
You
back.
did.
Just want to let you know. But the initial slap, I thought he was gonna hit me with a little pop face, like a little bitch slap. Like, why would you do that? Like, what the fuck?
Man,
but his
D.
man winded up. He twisted his hips. He twisted his hips and smacked the flavor out of my mouth. I've never been smacked like that in
Guys,
my life.
we
that shit has some
somehow,
torque to it.
This nigga slapped me straight.
we somehow
True
survived. We somehow survived sophomore year. Dombro, my wife wanted to let you know
Okay.
that she wanted to what she had a question of why she thinks she didn't like her. She thinks she didn't like
Oh my
her
God.
because every time we was about to go to sleep, she would go.
No, I had nothing against Drew. We would literally be in bed, lights out,
Yeah.
and on fucking like speakerphone.
Yes.
I love you, baby. And then you guys would be on the phone, just not saying anything. So like here I am thinking like, okay, this conversation's over, and then all of a sudden, so what you do today? What you eat for dinner? I bet. And here I am when I think I'm finally getting to sleep, it just comes again, and it'd be like that for like half an hour, and you know it's fucking true.
I forgot
And then-
about that.
Do you remember that shit?
Yes. Every
No,
night.
so you can tell Drew that I had nothing against her. Your ass should have been the one to get outside the room
Yeah,
and then
heard
come
it.
back
Went outside.
when the
You
conversation's
heard it.
over.
You heard it
This
first. You
man-
heard it here.
It would be the dead of night, and we'd be sleeping for a minute. We like it'll be moments like when you're about to doze off. All you hear is, "Hey, baby,
Hey, yo, what up?
hey, baby.
What's going on?
I love you too."
How's Dana? Dana good? All right.
Hey, shout out to Dana, man. That's so crazy. That's
No, so you can tell Drew. Drew and I are super cool. It's your loud ass that should have gotten out of the room.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh man, I love it. I love it. That's so funny, bro.
Goodness gracious!
That was
Goodness
we was
gracious.
in
That's a
some,
major throwback.
we was in some tight quarters, man. Especially sophomore year, we was in tight quarters.
Yeah.
Jay was doing P90.
Oh no, dude! Hold
It
on.
was T25.
Let me talk about that real quick. That was when he technically wasn't
Yeah, except I
playing
quit.
football,
Yeah.
and you and I would be at practice and come back to the room, and he'd just be like, shirt off, fucking sweating everywhere. The door would be closed because, obviously, if you're doing that shit, you wouldn't want to have somebody walk by and be like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?" And the room would
I did
stink.
with the door open once, and I was so
buggy,
embarrassed.
boy. It was buggy. It
The
was buggy in
room
there.
fucking stank, and I would walk into the room and just my skin would be crawling. I'm
was
just like, I
rough.
can't be here. I have to go.
It was rough.
I'm not gonna lie. I was sweating up that room like a pig. I was sweating like a pig in that damn room.
Yeah. So that's my
But yeah,
P90X experience with Jalen.
I thoroughly believe if we had more space, Practices wouldn't have been as tense. I just
Yeah.
feel like it
Every
almost
time
felt like
every
I
time I had
agree.
an opportunity to compete with one of y'all, I'm like, I gotta
we
beat
was
this
competing.
motherfucker.
Yeah, it was like, oh,
gotta
I gotta
do it.
win. I live with this dude.
Because
Like
you'd
I
be hearing
have no
about it for
other,
the rest of the day,
Yes.
rest of the week.
I have
I
no other
only ended up
option.
going
Ruthless.
against Lombard and Soch, but that was after we didn't live together, so like it wasn't the same.
Jay, go back to remember earlier we talked about how I like broke your
Oh
spirit.
yeah, Dombro, this
Yeah,
motherfucker, man. So it's winter
winter
conditioning.
conditioning.
We're on the line and we're doing one of those drills. It was one of those quick down and back drills. And Tyler, you know this. I'm a little quick when it's only down and back when it's short distance.
Hey, yeah,
So I'm like, I see
burst.
Dombro. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I can't beat him. But you know what? I'm going to fucking try. Right? I was like, I ain't try usually, but I'm like, Dombro, I'm going to fucking do it. Right? So I go all out. I get it. I almost beat him. In my on the inside, like, oh, I almost beat him. Oh, wow. I'm really getting faster, man. We're working on this, right? I go to Dombro, like, hey, Dombro, man, you see that? I almost caught you. And then Dombro goes, I saw you, so I didn't try. It just broke my spirit. He was like, I needed a break. I went all out. I never ran that fast any time I played in football.
Oh
I
fuck,
was
man!
like,
Dog.
Jesus Christ. I think I dove to the ground too. I put maximum effort.
Hey,
Oh,
man.
I didn't try. I really thought I did something.
I'm sorry, Jay.
Breaking my spirit.
If you never came up to me and was like, "I almost beat you," I wouldn't have said shit.
I waited some.
So in your head, if you're just like, "Man,
right?
like okay,"
The crazy thing is, right? I waited some time. I didn't do it in the moment. I waited some time after we thought about it a little bit, so he could probably forget. And he was like, "Oh no, I remember. I didn't even try. I seen you and I didn't even try." I was
I'm
like,
sorry,
"Damn."
bro.
Hey,
Sorry, bro.
all right, we're gonna do one more question before we get to the quick hitters. What was the difference between how was the wide receiver room? I've always been curious how was that being in the room with JB Gomes and all of those guys. Like what was that like?
So first off, those guys like were insanely talented. Like the shit they could do was like huge respect for them. Like you know, obviously being somebody that's new to the position, watching them do what they do was just like, all right, like they got their shit figured out. And so it's kind of cool being in that and like the wide receiver room, like because think about it too. That year we had Bartak and Monette coming in as freshmen, so to see them kind of like go through shit too was pretty cool. And I mean, those dudes are just savages. You know, they became fucking phenomenal football players and like two of probably like the toughest dudes to play that position would block and all that shit. But I mean, it was definitely an adjustment because like my whole mindset completely shifted in terms of like, okay, I'm the one delivering the ball to now I'm the one who's, going to be running the routes and, making an attempt at blocking. That was my weakest link. I couldn't block for shit. I tried to get run over slowly. And, so that was cool. It was just a different perspective. And, Coach Dixon was the, two hands.
Two hands.
So he was the coach, and it was a cool group of guys. We were all going through the same shit together. So it
Yeah.
was tight.
Man,
The
shout
one
out to
thing I
Coach
will go
Dixon.
into, yeah, shout out to Coach Dixon. The one thing I will get into is I'm calling him out, fucking Brandon Sharp. This fucking dude is like going out the night before games and
Oh
shit.
yeah, I remember
And
that.
he's getting on the field and he's like fucking hungover and shit. And here I am like, all right, I'm ready to go. Like, what's going on? And they fucking knew about it too. Like, there's no way they didn't know he was fucking going out drinking and being like fucking hungover and shit. So I'm calling you out, Brandon Sharp.
I
That's
never
fucking
forget
bullshit.
that.
Shout out
And he
Brandon
dropped
Sharp.
that pass.
Nah,
And he
man.
dropped that pass.
No, he caught it. He fumbled. It was messed up. You talking about against Snowhill?
Whatever happened to
Yeah,
him? Like
still.
he didn't
He
finish
transferred
St.
to.
He was just one and done.
He transferred to NC Central, North Carolina Central University. I don't know if he
Kid was
played though.
crazy.
Yeah,
That kid
he
was
was.
nuts.
I remember the days. It was senior year, and we had that one meeting where we would just call out everybody that was like not on their shit.
Yeah.
So we talked Brandon Sharp and some of the DBs. I was like, dang, bro, that was rough. It hurt. It kind of sucked. 'Cause I was like, dang, like that's one of the DMV boys. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I remember that.
I don't
Man,
think
it's
I ever
crazy.
seen Tyler madder in a meeting than any other time. Remember
I mean,
that
cause
time,
y'all know
bro?
me.
Tyler,
Y'all know me,
Tyler
dog.
was
Like
screaming.
That was
Y'all know
pent
me.
up for 4 years. That was 4 years of pent up just energy that just
He was
needed to
like,
get
"Yo,
released.
what the fuck?
Cause y'all,
Oh, shit,
if
I'm
anybody,
sorry.
like, you can't tell me, like, we
He was
wasn't
pacing the
dedicated.
room.
You
He
can't
was
tell me we
yeah.
wasn't dedicated. So, like, to see some freshmen that ain't just got here acting like they running a school. I'm like, hey, bro,
Yeah, I
that's
never
not it.
seen.
You got to
That's not
figure it
it,
out,
bro.
man.
Yeah, you lost it. He was
Man,
pacing. I remember he was pacing.
Yeah.
If the coaches weren't in the room before, you would have just walked in that bitch screaming. Like, hey,
I'm gonna
and
talk about
another
it.
thing.
I'm gonna talk about another episode, man. I'm talking about another episode. Dom, bro, I
Oh
wanna
man, good times.
first of all, Dom, bro, how was your transition from sports to just regular life type situation? Like, how was your transition to now?
Well, you guys probably remember this. When I was, first off, that spring, senior year with no spring ball, that shit
Wildin'.
was fun, man.
Oh,
Wildin'.
That was liberating,
what a
My
treat.
goodness.
you know?
I think it was like the
So
best
that
time
was
of my
nice
life.
not to have to do that and wake up early and go to conditioning and all that. But we still, played basketball and, throw the football around and shit. But that was nice because I had more free time to do other things and, like, obviously job hunt, when you're in your, senior year, that's pretty much hot on the press. And I actually ended up on weekends going home to work at, to kind of get my foot in the door at one of the car dealerships in terms of sales, which, I knew I wanted to do sales. And I was kind of like, I figure if you can sell a car, you can sell anything. And that was kind of my, Chelsea at the time was my girlfriend, was like, what about this? And my mom at the time was like, what about this? And I was like, no, like, I don't want to fucking sell cars. Like, that sucks. And so that was kind of the only option at the time because Chelsea ended up opening up her own bathing suit store.
Shout
And
out to
so it was kind
Chelsea's.
of like,
Y'all
shout
go
out to
check that
Chelsea's,
out.
2 stores now. Shout out there.
Two stores. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But it was kind of like, okay, am I going back home to the Cape doing this? Or because at the time I was like interviewing for jobs in Boston and stuff. So I didn't really know where I was going to end up. But it was kind of like, okay, you can, if you want to see this through, you're probably going to have to go back to the Cape and, and that's what you can do. And that's what I chose to go with. So I went back home and, wanted to keep on seeing her, thought there was something there. And, obviously worked out.
Yeah.
But
It
I ended
did.
up working at Premier Cape Cod, which was a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram store. But I would literally be going home on the weekends to kind of get going. So that way, once graduation came, I would just insert right in and be ready to go. And it was, but also too, being a fucking broke college student, like those like little paychecks were fucking.
Yeah.
I remember being like, I'm so rich, like, but it was like not fucking anything,
That's so crazy. I remember being like, "Where's Dombrowski?" But I was turning up so hard that there was weekends I was like, I ain't even realize you was going back home. We was turning
Yeah,
up.
so I'd go home and I'd work a Saturday, and then at the time the dealership was open every other Sunday, so sometimes I'd be doing a Saturday, Sunday, sometimes it's just Saturday.
Wow.
But that's kind of what I did. So I did that for probably 3-4 months, and then graduation came, and I started full time, and I'm still with the same company. They're the largest dealership group on Cape Cod, and now I'm one of the managers there, and it'll be 7 years in March.
That's fire, bro. That's
Yeah.
fire.
So it's
yeah, man. Hey, dog.
Wow.
We proud of you. For real.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
really
If
been
you
doing
told me
your
I
thing.
would still be there almost 7 years ago, I'd be like, you're fucking crazy. Like, I'm just doing this to get my foot in the door in sales and this and that. But like, here I am,
Yeah,
So
man.
it's
That's
been
awesome,
good.
bro.
And like I told you guys before, the bullshit and the hard work and the stuff from like sports, like that makes everything else, I don't want to say like come easy, but it's like, it just puts into perspective of like, if that's the hardest part of your day now, like you're doing all right, man,
Facts.
And,
Yeah.
if you can get up early, I mean, I got 2 kids now. Like my daughter, my youngest, my 3-month-old, she's up at 4 o'clock like clockwork every morning. You know what I
4.
mean? Sometimes, Yeah. So, but granted, I can't complain. She sleeps great. She goes to bed at like 9:30, wakes up at 4. Feed her, put her back down. Maybe sometimes you can get a little bit more sleep. Sometimes I'm up for the day, but like if that's the worst that's going on, like that's easy, man. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So I'm
that's
just
that's awesome. That's some great words to
Yeah.
hear.
Think about it. Yeah. Oh.
That's dope, man. That's dope. First of all, hey, congratulations to you on uh, being a football player. I got what I'm saying, like a lot of people don't go through the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I
it's
almost didn't
dope.
make it.
Yeah.
It was you guys that kept me through it.
Once again, Saint Paul John II High School. This is an athletic Hall of Fame nominee. Don't play with this man. Robert
Yeah.
Dombrowski needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Don't play with this
He needs
man.
to be in
Okay?
something.
Something. You don't play with this man.
You guys are
Okay?
crazy.
Now, we have some quick hitters. We have to
All
ask
right,
you,
let's go.
okay? I'm going to ask you at the quarterback position, once at the quarterback position, and then at the receiver. Who do you think,
All right.
what NFL player would you say reminds you of you at quarterback and receiver? Don't be humble. Don't be humble.
Yeah.
Fuck. I mean, receiver. It's probably like a. I don't even know, man.
I feel like I know you're going to say. I would assume you was Edelman.
Yeah, but like the thing with Edelman is he's like tenacious, like that. Like the Edelman comparison is for Bartak. You know what I
true,
mean?
true,
Okay.
true.
I was too much of a softie to be compared to an Edelman. You know what I mean?
Like
Yeah.
a Hunter Renfro.
Yeah, like
Renfro.
maybe something like that, but not as many moves
Not
as he's
the
got.
footwork. The footwork.
Just being the short white guy in the slot, you know.
All right, Renfro. All right, what about quarterback?
Quarterback. Quarterback.
Low key. I was thinking of Herbert. I was thinking of Justin Herbert, but that's just me.
Nah, dude, he's got a cannon. I didn't have a cannon like that. I don't know, man. Just for the sake of moving this thing along. Nah, Matty, I got more wheels than Matty Ice.
He's like, listen,
I like Matty Ice, but I got more speed.
All right, I like that. What was your favorite place to play of all time?
I only went once because I didn't travel junior year when we played on the blue turf, but the blue turf at New Haven was pretty cool. That was like one of the coolest stadiums.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to travel junior year for that game.
Didn't,
so I remember watching the game.
You missed the Hail Mary, bro.
I watched it on my phone. I was literally at Chelsea's dorm in Lowell, Mass, when she was at UMass Lowell, and like saw the finish, and I'm just like, "Fuck, man, they must be having so much fun." I didn't get to travel for the game. You know,
we were wilding. Hell of a game, but yeah, blue turf. I feel you on that. Okay,
that's cool.
With that being said, would you prefer to play on turf or grass?
Grass.
Do you prefer to play at home or on the road?
I like the away games. You know, you get to go into somebody's stadium and, push them around and get the dub. That to me is cooler than winning at home.
Who's your favorite athlete?
Favorite athlete? I would probably say Jason Varitek, catcher for the Red Sox.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike all day.
I probably know this, but favorite team?
Patriots.
Yep.
That's an easy
Come on, man. That's the hard ones.
How does it feel to not be in the playoffs? I just realized that.
I knew you were going to go to this, and I'm going to take the high ground and say congrats to your Eagles for the first round bye. But who knows what's going to happen after that? Sometimes these first round buys don't make it through the next round.
They don't. Sometimes they don't.
Jalen Hurts ain't played for over 27 days. Just saying.
I mean, well, he played the last game of the season. Don't put that on him. Now, that's just funny. Y'all not the playoffs and shit. That's crazy.
But
y'all had a lot of
I'm
injuries.
Gonna take the high ground. Congrats to your Eagles.
Y'all had a lot of injuries though. It was a tough season.
Taking our lumps. We're okay.
We're gonna get an offensive coordinator. We'll be all right.
Yeah, we're like the Steelers. We ain't ever gonna have a losing record.
All right, Dombro. I'm gonna stir up the pot now. As a receiver,
yep.
Out of all the quarterbacks you played with,
Yep.
who do you trust the most in a 2-minute drill?
Oh, that's easy, man. That's Yanni all day.
Shout out to
YG.
YG.
Hey,
Shout out to YG.
that
Now,
was
as a
nice.
quarterback, you need a reception. Who are you going to?
This might be controversial, but at least in the guys I've been throwing to. So let me do this. I'm going to answer one in high school and one in college.
Yes.
I'm going to shout out my boy Jeff.
Shout out
He
Jeff.
was my go-to in high school.
Yeah.
I could count on him whenever. In college, with the reps that I got and the guys I actually like played with, Cathcart.
I knew you was going to say Cathcart. That
Brendan
boy could
Cathcart.
catch. Cathcart had the hands,
The pride of Norwood. The pride of Norwood.
bro.
So
Cathcart.
if he sees this, shout out Cathcart. And also too, like one thing I will say too, when I moved from quarterback to receiver, he was huge in helping me like kind of figure out what the fuck was going on that end of it. And I feel like he and I were in a similar position where, you know, we're both like, you know, especially like junior year. I don't think he played senior year,
Nah.
but junior year we were both like upperclassmen who were kind of just like, you know, not really in the mix and just kind of like going through the motions of like, okay, we're here, but like, you know, you're never going to be that guy. That shit sucked, but like knowing he was kind of doing the same thing and like going through that too kind of made it a little easier. But like, I know for him, like obviously he was like, you know, what the fuck am I going to do this another year for, you know? So he did what I wanted to do, but like, I respect it, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, I had a coach. I'll never forget. Coach Dixon said, because when we was in college, Snapchat just came out, and Coach Dixon was like, "You hear about this Snapchat? It's going to change the game." Shout out to Coach Dixon, man.
Oh
All right,
God.
dog, bro. Thank you so much for being on. It's always a pleasure, dog.
Yeah, man.
Can't wait to link up again. I got to get to the Cape. I've been to Martha's Vineyard, but I got to get to the Cape again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Anytime you want to come, man.
Will do. That's for sure. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. This is another episode of Technically Athletic. Peace.